you're one of the best that I've ever seen at actually breaking down what needs to happen in this 2024 election. So if you have any opinions or any advice for Joe Biden in his debate, what are some of the things that we need to look for, or some things that you would suggest for the debate against Donald Trump?
Yes. My suggestion. Yes. My suggestion is offense, offense, offense. I want to see scrappy Uncle Joe from Scranton, the shut up man guy. That guy needs to show up for the debate. And, defense may win championships in sports, but offense wins elections. So this is going to be one of the most important moments of Joe Biden's entire political life. Everyone is looking at him to make sure that he's got the stamina, the vim and vigor, that he's all there. We all know that he is, but there are lots of folks out there that are not quite sure. Maybe it's because the media overemphasizes Joe Biden's age and doesn't seem to give a damn about the fact that Donald Trump is insane and old and out of shape. Oh, no. His mental acuity isn't in question. It's Joe Biden's. It's insane, but that is the dynamic we're dealing with. So we have to deal with the political reality. So my biggest advice to Joe Biden is come out there swinging. The idea that he has to be above the fray, he's president, and that's true. There's a fine line here between going too far. We don't want that. We don't want the reality show entertainment factor that Donald Trump brings. You don't want to stoop to his level. But there is a way to take the gravitas of the presidency in the bully pulpit and almost be indignant that he has to stand on the stage next to someone who is a felon, who is criminally liable for his business practices and for defamation against E. Jean Carroll, and the fact that he incited an insurrection, and the fact that he's out here talking about things that dictators talk about, and is an affront to our constitutional values. Joe Biden should take that position, and he should own the successes of his presidency. Joe Biden has had a really freaking successful presidency in his first term, considering what he inherited. Our economy is number one in the world. We are the number one producers of energy. Black unemployment is at historic lows. We have the CHIPS Act investing in our technology. We have lower insulin and prescription drugs. We have an infrastructure bill, which, hello, Donald Trump talked about infrastructure, became a joke. Joe Biden did it. So he needs to own that and acknowledge that people feel, right? They may not be feeling all of those positives in our economy. Polling shows that. A lot of it has to do with the way the media frames these things, but it doesn't matter. In politics, perception is reality. So Biden needs to acknowledge that. Inflation, yep, it's a little bit high. We don't like that. Makes prices higher, but this is what I've done to bring it down. And this is why we got it in the first place, because Donald Trump screwed the pooch on COVID response. And 500,000 people died unnecessarily because of Donald Trump's incompetence and insensitivity and ineptitude when it came to COVID. Is this who you want in place in a time of crisis again? So offense, offense, offense. Come on, President Biden, you can do it.
You know what? What is that old saying? Don't get in a fight with a pig in the mud because they actually like it. I think we got to change that. We want to get in a fight in a pig, jump in the pen and make bacon.
Yes, there you go. There you go.
I just made that up. Can you tell?
Yeah, but brilliant. Hey, we'll take it. Great. We'll take it. Yeah, it's all the same concept here. All the same concept.
The other thing too, what you just said was so cool to go in fighting is that when I was a bouncer, my dad told me, he goes, the fight doesn't start till you get him on the floor. I think Biden has to actually come in with that mentality. When he has Donald Trump down, it needs to be a complete pile-on. He needs to just kick and fight and make sure he stays on the floor. And I think with his positions, what he's talking about is the ability to talk about his accomplishments. You're exactly right. I think you're dead on. I wasn't even remembering all those accomplishments that you brought up. But I do think if Donald Trump tries to get personal, I do think that he needs to come out and start talking about his felony convictions. I think he needs to talk about what he does to women. I think he needs to bring it all up and say, listen, you're a slobbering piece of shit. That's what I want to hear.
Yes. I mean, he really just needs to point out the contrast The American people need to be reminded. We have very short attention spans in this country, and there's been a collective amnesia about how awful things were under Donald Trump. So what if if the economy was good and some people's 401ks were better at some point? Yes, but at the same time, currently the stock market has hit numerous records under President Biden, and we are in a stronger position today than we were when Donald Trump was president. He was a chaos president. Remind people of that. And he's a freaking convicted felon. Are we okay? We need to ask ourselves as a country, are we okay with having someone who doesn't even have their own right to vote? He can't vote anymore. He's a convicted felon. We're okay with that, putting that person, elevating them to the White House? Something fundamentally wrong with that.
You know how it would end the debate if it was me? Well, it's obviously not me, but you never know. Maybe one day. But I think what I would say is this. I'd say, listen, I did this for the American people, but this is the last time I'm on stage with a convicted felon.
Yes. I mean,
that's how I would end the debate. I would say this is the last time that I degrade myself and degrade the office of the president by standing on stage with somebody who's not only a convicted felon, but's been found liable of sexual assault and is self-identified as somebody who likes to assault women. I will not be on the stage with this kind of scum ever again, because I'm the president of the United States, and he's somebody who doesn't deserve to be anywhere near the White Office or the White House again. That's how I would actually end the debate if it's me, because I think you got to cut somebody, right?
That's right. You got to take him out. The best way to take out a bully is you punch him in the mouth. And President Biden can do that proverbially, because guess what? He's actually right on all of these things. He's coming from a position of moral decency. That's correct. And standing on the Constitution and actually what makes America great. He should take that turn of phrase. This is what actually makes America great. Not that.
I tell you.
And take it back from him. I'm with you on it. And that's why you and I are going to do a live stream tomorrow night. Yes. Post debate. So we hope that people come and join. Seneca Project and CotS. We're going to do a post debate analysis so people can come and listen to us discuss how well President Biden did and how terrible Donald Trump did. That's our prediction. Hopefully.
I tell you, I hope my wife doesn't catch me doing post debater stuff.